Now, very first story. The chief of Savelugu, Yona Abubakar Mahama, has been nominated as the new King of Dagbon. The nomination, confirmed by Kugana, follows the conclusion of the final funeral rites of the Yana Yakubu and Dani at Yendi in the northern region.
We have just finished the funeral of Yana Yakubu and Dani today, and according to our custom, if we finish the funeral of the Yana, it is that same night you skin a new Yana who will take over as the one, as the new Yana of Dagbon. And before we do that, you know, yesterday when they were, before they did the circumambulation of the palace, the Bushana have to come and then remove some touch from the hall of Yana's palace, and that is what he will bring to the Kugana, and the Kugana will add some cola and give it to the one that is elected. And what I also want to clear here is that it is not only Kugana who is the custodian. We are the 4 custodians who elect a Yana and select a Yana. We do our oracles and then we select a Yana. And so, since they all applied, we are going through our oracles. And then by God's grace, we have selected the Saluguna as our new Yana. And so when that touch, the piece of grass was given to me, I added some cola and then sent it to Yona, signifying that he is the new Yana elected.
Now, Yona Abubakar Mahama is expected to be enskinned soon. Ahead of that ceremony, though, the Interior Minister, in consultation with the Northern Regional Security Council, has imposed a 2-day curfew on Yendi and its entrance to forestall any violent clashes there and ensure the maintenance of law and order. Now, the Interior Minister, or the statement reads, the Minister for the Interior, or has on the advice of the Northern Regional Security Council and by executive instrument imposed a 5 p.m. to 7 a.m. curfew on the Yendi Township effective Friday, January 18, 2019. The imposition of the curfew follows various reports gathered by security agencies indicating that there is very likely to be high tension in the township with large numbers of supporters of the various gates and factions all gathering in Yendi. Government urges the chiefs, opinion leaders, youth and people of the area to exercise restraint in the face of the challenges confronting them and to use non-violent means to channel their energies into ensuring peace in the area. Meanwhile, there is a total ban on all persons in the Yendi Township and surrounding areas from carrying arms, ammunition or any offensive weapons, and any persons found with any arms or ammunition will be arrested and prosecuted. And this is signed by Ambrose Derry, who's the Minister for the Interior, and it is issued here in Accra this Friday, January 18, 2019. Now, joining us on the phone now is Emmanuel Bombande, and he is a security analyst. Thank you very much, Mr. Bombande. Now, how do you receive this news of the new Yana being nominated? It certainly is welcome news.
Thank you, Israel, and good evening to your viewers. I think all of us in Ghana, and not just the Dagbon people and the Dagbon kingdom, must receive the news of the nomination of a new Yana with happiness, aware that it has been long in coming. It has been a arduous process that was well, in my view, managed despite the challenges, and of course led by the facilitation of the Committee of Eminent Kings. But we are also aware that the nomination in itself is the beginning of a new journey. It's a landmark event, but that landmark event can only sustain peace when we can ensure that we are able to do the right things so that we do not have a situation that could reverse the gains that have been made up to now. I thought this would be the way we should welcome this news. We should welcome it and celebrate it, but at the same time, we must continue to exercise the type of restraint, the type of caution, precisely because of the context from where we are coming from, and the fact that the journey towards reconciliation is not an easy journey. And to that extent, every effort from this point must be made to consolidate the gains that have been made. And I think that if all of us as Ghanaians can continue the solidarity and support to the Dagbon people, we will be able to sustain the peace that is so much needed.
What would be the immediate steps you think should be taken to consolidate whatever peace we're enjoying now?
I strongly believe if you were to prioritize what should be the immediate and urgent things to do, it will be one, continuing to reach out to one another through the internal dialogue amongst the two royal gates, the Abudu and the Andani, and in so doing, receiving the necessary support from all key stakeholders, that the Committee of Eminent Kings must now, even more than ever, try as much as possible to support the process rather than relax, because they've got to a critical point in the roadmap where a Yana has been nominated. Continue to be the ones that provide all the needed attention to how dialogue can continue to be forged and facilitated between the two. And while that happens, the gestures, the goodwill towards one another, including how the Yana is supported with the Kugana to ensure that the respect for Dagbon traditional norms and customs continue to be respected and adhered to. How the new Yana is able to manage vacant skins, that's and skin. All these types of gestures will, in my view, augment the possibilities of reconciliation that brings the two royal gates and the people of Dagbon together. And this reconciliation is the one that will be genuine, is the one that recognizes a very difficult past, but begins a new narrative. And that new narrative is to recognize that even if we came from a very difficult past, for the children and the future of Dagbon, and obviously the northern region and Ghana, reconciliation can be the new frontier of looking at one another with different lenses. And reconciliation, I must underscore, is not easy. But it is achievable, and it is the best way to sustain peace and to consolidate and guarantee the mutual respect that must prevail in Dagbon as a kingdom.
All right, thank you very much, security analyst Emmanuel Bombande. And we also have on the line Yusuf Tanko, is a Northern Region Police Public Relations Officer. Thank you for making time to speak with us. Now, this imposition of the curfew, what is it exactly to achieve? Hello, Mr. Tanko. If you can hear me, I want to know what this curfew that has been imposed in Yendi is supposed to achieve.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening to you and good evening to your viewers as well. The curfew has become important because we needed to ensure that we have an atmosphere which is very secured, that the kingmakers of the Andani family will be able to operate within and skin the new Yana who everybody is hoping for. We don't want people to hide under darkness, the cover of darkness, and perpetrate crime by trying to use or resort to firearms or machetes and other implements to perpetrate crime. So by imposing the curfew, we are able to distinguish between persons who are law-abiding, that is those who will go and sleep, and those who will be out there trying to foment trouble. So basically, the curfew was intended to improve upon the security of the Yendi municipality so that the kingmakers can go ahead under the atmosphere of security and do their work.
Now, this curfew is for 2 days. Will the 2 days be enough to get everything done?
Yeah, it will be enough. By tomorrow morning, the kingmakers would have finished with what they have to do. We will monitor the situation for the other day, and then subsequently, we will continue to hold the town security-wise as we've been doing. You know, for the past 5 days, we haven't heard anything untoward from Yendi. No gun has fired. Nobody has misconducted himself security-wise. It's because of the presence of the police and the military on the ground and ensuring that a lot of patrols are done and also snap checks are mounted at the entrances of Yendi. These have helped, and we will continue to do that so we are fully convinced that the situation is normal.
Right. More importantly, it is good that the security agencies engage the two gates. Is that being done? Because that will ensure that we can expect peace beyond the 2 days.
Yeah, that is very, very important, and we've been doing that all along. It's not we alone who do that. The RESEC has also been doing same. So is government delegations, and also the three eminent chiefs have been engaging both gates, and it has helped. This evening, I've seen a press release purported to have come from the Bolinana, and if that is confirmed, then it is a great good news, meaning that he has pledged his support for the new Yana. And also in the afternoon, the Tolonna, who is the Abudu, and also the defense minister for Dagbon, went to the new Yana to pay homage to him. And in this particular release that I'm talking about, the Bolinana appears to be saying that he is the one who sent him together with some elders. So it means that gradually the peace that we are looking for is coming. And as we've been saying all along, there's nobody who will come from outside Dagbon to bring the peace that we are looking for. It is the Abudus and the Andanis and the whole Dagbon who have to know that the peace is within them, and they have to bring the peace out.
All right. Thank you very much, Northern Region Police Public Relations Officer Yusuf Tanko speaking there. And the very latest we can share with you is that the Chief of Savelugu, Yona Abubakar Mahama, has been nominated as the new king of Dagbon. Now, we have a statement from the Boli now, and we're going to share that with you. As you heard, Yusuf Tanko made reference to that. It says, on my own behalf and on behalf of the Royal Abudu family of Dagbon, I wish to congratulate my grandfather, Na Alhaji Abubakar Mahama, following his selection by the kingmakers of Dagbon as the new Yana. I wish to indicate my unflinching support and loyalty to the new Yana, and to assure him that so long as he leads us, when he looks back, he will see me. In accordance with the best traditions of Dagbon, I have already sent a high-powered delegation from the Abudu royal family, led by the Regent of Tolong, Major Suleiman Abubakar, Regent of Diare, and Imba Dugu Idrisu Idi, to formally congratulate the new Yana. It is our prayer that the Almighty Allah will grant him the wisdom to lead and unite Dagbon as we enter into a new dawn of reconciliation, friendship, brotherliness, and unity. Long live Dagbon, long live Ghana, Boling Lana Mahama Abdullah Yendi, and he signed that one. You're watching Joy News, and we're taking a break at this point, but still ahead in the bulletin, Ahmed Suale, the Tiger IPI staff who was assassinated last Wednesday, has been buried in accordance with Muslim tradition.
The very first day I visited him in his house, I told him, where you are staying, Suale, where you are is dangerous for you. My brother will bury with us. I told him and tell him, where you are is dangerous. You shouldn't have been in a populated area like this. Not 3 months now. Not 3 months. May God curse those people who did that.
Elsewhere, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has offered a 50,000 Ghana cedis reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of killers of its public affairs manager. We'll be back with that and more. Stay tuned. Ahmed Hussein-Suale, the member of the private investigations firm Tiger IPI, who was assassinated last Wednesday night, has been buried in accordance with Muslim tradition At the burial, which was attended by Information Minister Kojo Opon-Nkrumah and the deceased boss Anas Arimio Anas, Ahmed's family describe him as a breadwinner whose demise will make life difficult for his dependents. His brother Al-Hassan Yunus tells Joy News he had 2 wives and 4 children, including 2 infants under a year-old, and 4 other children he adopted. Maxwell Agbagba reports one of his adopted children is in his final year at senior high school.
Tears flowing as family members and friends get ready to bury the deceased. Present at the Medina Mosque to pay their last respect are investigative journalist Anas Arimio Anas, managing news editor of the New Crusading Guide newspaper, and the many other sympathizers. One of the imams who officiated the burial service says he warned Ahmed to find a safer neighborhood. He's praying to Allah for the perpetrators to be arrested.
He was doing his work, national assignment. Everybody is crying that there's corruption in the country. And he has risked his life to defend the country, and this is what he has got. The very first day I visited him in his house, I told him, Hussein, where you are staying, Suale, where you are is dangerous for you. My brother will bear witness. I called him and tell him, where you are is dangerous. You shouldn't have been in a populated area like this. Not 3 months now. Not 3 months. May God curse those people who did that. Wherever they are on earth, Allah, we are praying to you to expose them. We are crying to you, Almighty. He has left 4 children, little ones. Who is going to take care of them? Allah, we are looking to you.
Here at the Medina Cemetery, hundreds of his friends are gathered here to say final goodbye to him. Earlier at the family house, I had interactions with his brother, who described him as a breadwinner and a great helper of the family.
Yeah, the family will miss me a lot. The family will miss me a lot because I can describe him as a breadwinner of the family. Yes. So we will surely miss him a lot. Aside from his children, there were other family members who were dependent on him. I know as Muslims, per our religion, we believe in this extended family system. So he was taking care of other people aside from the immediate family. I would say immediate family, apart from his wives, he has about 8 children that he was taking care of.
People from all walks of life came to commiserate with the family. South Dai Member of Parliament Roxin Dafiamukbo is concerned about recent killings in the country. He wants state security agencies to do more.
The nature of the killings, yes, we are aware that ordinary people sometimes meet such unfortunate situations. You will see that the investigations often will start better to stall. But this time we speak of high-ranking public officials and persons of some import in society. And so the question is, if persons that are of importance to society, the lives of whom are cut down this way, then what happens to the ordinary man?
Adaklu MP Kwame Agboja wants journalists to be given better security.
I guess you notice that you and I are high targets in this country. Me as a politician and you as a journalist.
Yeah.
Basically, what you're doing here today is what you have set out to do because that's what you love. But somebody takes exception to that and wants you dead. In 2017, I was shot at in my vehicle. And the chilling thing is that some people sent me messages asking me if I was really shot, why am I still alive? And for me, this week, I was on a program somewhere, and somebody was saying, yeah, we mean you, and NPP, we mean you. But you see, this shouldn't be politicized, but let's face it. Do you think if me, Kwame Agboja, or my colleague, Roxanne, actually went as dastardly as possible to unmask and undercover, basically what my colleague Ken have done is to basically, for instance, go and publish the address of all security agents in this country. In other jurisdictions, attempt to do that is a crime.
The remains of the deceased, would be here. Everybody has left this place. It's empty now. I can count just about 10 people. No, not really 10, about 8 people here. And I'm sure they will all be leaving in 2 minutes. It's the end of the road, sadly, for our brother.
Elsewhere, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, GPHA, is offering 50,000 cedis to anyone who provides useful leads on the killer or killers of its public affairs manager, Josephine Asante. Mrs. Asante is said to have been stalked and then murdered at her home at Efienya near Tema. Police say her body was found with stab wounds at her MS estate home, which she shared with a 12-year-old boy and a houseboy. She was reportedly attacked in a bedroom soon after she returned from a party on Saturday night. The GPHA said in a statement that it is offering, quote, a bounty of 50,000 cedis to anyone who provides the police with information that leads to the arrest and the conviction of the murderer or murderess of one of the authorities' managers, Mrs. Josephine Asante, unquote. And we're taking a break here on Joy News Prime. Potential occupants of the newly built Kjt Market are to undergo training and orientation in simple fire safety measures to reduce risk when the facility opens for use. The National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, is collaborating with the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly and other stakeholders to undertake the exercise. NADMO Director Eric Nana Ajawang Prempe explains it is incumbent on city authorities to ensure the huge investment is protected. Nana Senso Mensah has more in this report.
Personnel of NADMO, Fire Service and other security agencies went on an inspection tour of the Kjt Market on Friday to assess its safety integrity. Figures from the Fire Service indicate 3,282 fire outbreaks were recorded in the first half of 2018, up from 3,102 over the same period of 2017. Persistent fire disaster has resulted in loss of life and property year after year. Head of Electrical Engineering and Installations for Brazilian construction firm Contractor, which is executing the project, assures of high level of safety. Joan Umba says sophisticated fire detectors have been installed at the new facility.
This is a system to fight in case it happens. You need to have an emergency system to fight in case of happen something like this. Because if you don't have anything, and if an infraction occurs, you don't have nothing to fight. That's why all the building system, you need to have a fighting system to fight in case of any emergency that occurs. That's why you have all the system prepared. In case of any incident that can occur, you can fight the system.
The 80,000 capacity market, though still under construction, is in its final stages. Nana Ajman Prempe is National NADMO Director.
So you are all aware this.
Chiefs and small-scale miners in the Upper West region have raised red flags over mining concessions given to some 30 mining companies to prospect for gold in the region. One of the companies allocated accused is the Australian mining firm Azuma Resources Limited. They allege that instead of the company prospecting for gold, it is rather mining gold, whilst blocking prospective small-scale miners from having access to the site. Speaking at a forum organized to sensitize small-scale miners on the new guidelines for mining operations, the chiefs warned they will not allow the companies to continue mining in the name of prospecting for gold. Joy News' Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Wa.
Following the lifting of the ban on small-scale mining for miners whose mining concessions have been validated and successfully gone through the vetting process, the National Association for Small-Scale Miners has embarked on sensitization fora across the country to educate their members on how to streamline their activities. 31% of Upper West land space has been given out to over 30 mining companies to prospect for gold in the region. Small-scale miners and chiefs in the region are therefore not happy with the situation. For them, they believe Azuma Resources Limited are rather mining than prospecting for gold. Leading the charge is the chief of Duse, Na Salifu Jongara.
You said you are doing prospecting since 1993 up to date. No results. Up to date. Charapong coming to our area here, Mangwe area to do. Up to date, you say you are prospecting. You don't regard we the chiefs. You don't regard Tendana. You don't regard our own boys as well. Sacking them from the bush, as Commissioner said, they are always armed. We can't attack them on the bush.
Since 1993, the company has been prospecting for gold in the Nadoli, Jiruba, Laura, Nandom, Wa East, and Wa West districts. Small-scale miners from these communities have no qualms about the validity of the prospecting license given to them. They will, however, want them to end prospecting to enable them also have a bite of the pie. Abdul Razak Al-Hassan is the secretary of small-scale miners in the northern belt of the country.
We don't have any enemy. Our enemy is how we can get land to do mining. And Azuma Resort cannot take all over the region. So, henceforth, we are here to plead with leadership. We are pleading with leadership. We are fed up with Azuma. Azuma, we are fed up.
However, one district officer of the Mineral Commission, Dixon Achindiba, jumped to the defense of the Australian mining firm, insisting that they are prospecting for gold.
The moment you acquire a prospecting license and you owe your rights is to prospect, you can never use it in mining. If you are using it in mining, you are doing illegal operation.
Also present at the forum was the General Secretary of Small-Scale Miners, Godwin Amwa.
The small-scale miners is a lot of it. One, it has created some sort of sensitization. Number two, there are a lot of division, and then because the whole area, you don't have licenses, so it's like the strongest will survive.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam. Wow.
Right, we're returning to Yendi for our very top story, which is the nomination of the Chief of Staff of the Glue, Yona Abubakar Mahama. He's been nominated as a new King of Dagbon. We have Martina Bugri, who's going to bring us the very latest there. Now, Martina, you tell us that the Yona has been addressing the people there. What has he been saying?
It's actually the Bolin Lana, the Bolin Lana. He's just been appealing to the Abudu youth to be calm. He says that it is God who ensskins a king, and God has chosen the Yona to be the new Yana, and so he needs everybody's support to help the new Yana get Dagbon move to a different level. He says that just as he has taken it calmly and he's looking up to God, so should his followers. Anybody who believes in him as the leader of the Abudu Gate should also follow him, emulate his example, and be calm. He says that they need peace to develop Dagbon, and they can only get that if they all unite as one people. And so his appeal tonight to the Abudu youth everywhere in the world is that they have agreed as a family to unite as one people. And so no one should do anything that would create conflict or confusion in any part of the country. That's what he's been addressing the media this evening.
All right, Martina, I'd want you to put this into context for us. Who is the Bole Na, and why is what he's saying so relevant?
It's relevant because the Yendi has two gates, the Andani and the Abudu gate. Now, the Andani gate is currently those who have been chosen to lead Dagbon. And the Bolin Lana contested to also become one, but he wasn't chosen. And so he thinks that once it is God who ensskins a king, they thought it was their turn. But if God has appointed somebody from the Andani gate, they wholeheartedly accept and would work with the person. That's what it means.
All right. In other words, this is a significant overture, essentially, and it is reconciliatory. Very significant because
there are two gates. And so if the other side didn't win and comes out openly to say, I accept and I would work with the new group, it means it's a very significant step towards reuniting Dagbon tonight.
Thank you very much, Martina Bugre, bringing us the very latest update there from Dagbon. Now, only 37% of Ghana's university student population is pursuing courses in the sciences compared to 63% in humanities. Deputy Minister of Education in charge of tertiary education says the trend gives little impetus for the country's socio-economic development. Professor Kjt Market was speaking at the 14th congregation of the Kumasi Technical University. Kwesi Deborah.